couple more, gang. We gang. It's a gang thing, and I'm back with another freaking video. So as y'all can already tell by the title, y'all already know what this is. This is a story time, basically part 2 to the video that I recently posted about me starting my own cleaning business. So yeah, we gonna do a story time that relates to that video, y'all, and I need y'all to bear with me because it's kind of long. This is part 2, so we gonna get into it. But before we do, I need y'all to stop what y'all doing. Make sure y'all like this video. Make sure y'all comment any other content that y'all want to see from me down below in the comment section. Also, make sure that you turn on your bell because I do post notification shout outs. You know, I want to engage with y'all more, so go ahead and make sure you turn on that bell so I can give you a shout out in my next video. And I also want to say what's up to my gang. If you're already subscribed, what's up, gang? I love y'all. Thank y'all for rocking with me and sticking with me and being so patient with me. I'm finally here, y'all. I'm trying to give y'all the content that y'all been waiting on, period. Okay, so I'm not even gonna hold y'all. We just gonna get straight into the video because like I said, this may be a long video, y'all, so bear with me. Also, comment down below if y'all enjoy my longer videos or my shorter videos, because majority of my videos I try to keep under 30 minutes. A lot of them are like 20 minutes or 25 minutes. So this one may be a little bit longer, but y'all let me know in the comment section if y'all enjoyed this type of content. Okay, y'all, so before I get into the story, I do want to give y'all a little backstory so y'all can understand it a little bit more. So the girl that was in the condo, cleaning the condo with me, she was my neighbor, and we're just going to call her D. And I met her because she had recently moved out my neighborhood right under me or whatever, and her kids went to my kids' school. So we met at the bus stop, basically. That's how we met. One day, she had picked my kids up from the bus stop for me because she lived under me, and I couldn't make it there in time, so she picked them up for me, brought them back home. Of course, I did kind of feel some type of way because I didn't know her, and good thing she wasn't like a kidnapper crazy type of person, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, that's besides the point. So the incident that I'm about to talk about, it started with this situation of us cleaning this condo, y'all. I'll try to insert like the previous clips from that video throughout this video so y'all can kind of understand more, because there's a lot of like signs and red flags in that video if y'all go back and watch it. If y'all have not watched it yet, please go back and watch that one. I will try to link it in the comment section or the description down below so y'all can watch that first. That's part 1, and then come back to this video. But yeah, y'all, I also want to say that this is no disrespect to her. We don't have any problems right now. We're not friends or anything, and we don't talk, but we don't have any problems. There's no beef. This is just a story time. So, you know, this was last year and we're over it now. We don't have no type of friendship or bond at this point, but we are both doing really good in life. I do salute her for that, even though it didn't work out with us. So, okay, we're going to go to the first day that I met her. The first day where we conversed and we became friends. This was after the incident where she picked my kids up from the bus stop. So basically one day we were talking and I had went down to her house this particular day because she had started this little community called Mommy 2.0. And I'll insert the clip to that from the previous video right here. And she also was in the process of establishing her own cleaning business, which was called Infinity Solutions. So basically when we met, it was right before Christmas, and we were both struggling and we didn't have like the funds to do the things that we wanted to do for Christmas for our kids. So that's kind of how like the conversation started. And again, she had just moved in, so she didn't have any furniture in her house, and she has, I believe, 4 kids. So I wanted to help her. So I kind of gave her just a little bit of my furniture, not a lot, but just small things that I could help her out with or whatever. So this particular day we're at her house and we're talking. Mind you, she had at this point 2 kids, I believe, that were not in school. And I just had 1 child, Messiah, that was not in school. And we were just talking about life. She told me about her community that she started for mommies, and I felt intrigued by it. Like, I loved it. She had branched off basically into her own business related to it. So at that point, I told her my strengths, how good I was with promo, marketing, all of that. Oh, and also let me say this. This is how I ended up at her house when we met. She asked me to do her makeup for her live video that night because she was going live for the mommy class or whatever, and she wanted me to do her makeup. So that's how I ended up down at her house, and that's how I ended up like bringing furniture and stuff because I kind of needed it to do her makeup, and I just gonna let her keep it there. So I basically was doing her makeup. I decorated. I did a backdrop for her so that she could have a little bit of professionalism with it because this was her first time doing this, and you know, first impressions are everything. So I'll insert the clip of the backdrop that I did. And it was super simple. It wasn't finished, but this is just a little idea of what I did. Wow! Okay, so mind y'all, our older kids were in school, so we just had the 3 kids that weren't in school at the time. Okay, so I wasn't able to do her makeup because I had did so many other things for her, and she also had a hair appointment this particular day too, prior to the video. That's why she wanted her makeup done. She just wanted to look really presentable because I told her that's something that's very important. So she was just gonna go get a blowout, a silk press. So after I did the backdrop, I began to write into my notebook ideas for her and topics, things that she could talk about in the video, and I wanted to have it structured for her so she could stay on task. Disclaimer, y'all, and this was one of like the first red flags. Be the judge of this yourselves. Like, don't take my word for it, but take my word for it. So I did not realize that a lot of the things that she was saying at this time were red flags. I just thought that was her personality. When she was explaining the mommy little program to me, she was speaking so highly of it as if it was the upper echelon. Like, she used that word like, you don't know nothing about this. And you know, I didn't take it offensively, but it just was a thought in my mind, like, okay, like, okay. And I say that because it was like, you know how like when you meet somebody and they try to make themselves seem a little bit more or better than what they really are to prove a point to you, or trying to, you know what I'm saying? Y'all get what I'm saying? That's the vibe that I got. That's the only way that I could put it. Okay, so fast forward, she went to go get her hair done before the kids got out of school. Now, imagine y'all, this is the first day that me and this girl was conversing as associates. The time when she brought my kids home, it was just a thank you and whatever. We never talked again until this day. This lady, not knowing me from a pan of paint, not a can of paint, a pan of paint. This lady literally let me drop her off to her hair appointment and keep her car. And that was like another red flag for me. She let me keep the car to get the kids off the bus. And I know y'all probably like, okay, whatever. But still, y'all, comment down below how many of y'all would do that. How many of y'all would just meet somebody and get them y'all car on the first day? Okay. All right. So basically, I dropped her off. She went to go get her hair done. I went back home. I got the kids from school. I went back to pick her up. La-di-da-di-da. That night, she had her little Mommy 2.0 live. And now we're going to get into the other part of the story. Okay, so she was telling me about the cleaning business that she had started. That was what she branched off into, the cleaning business, but she didn't have it planned out and all together. So I also sat down and I did a plan for that as well, for me and her to be business partners and start this business together. She showed me a couple of her YouTube and TikTok videos. She showed me a flyer or whatever, and she told me that there was this job that we could do. It was a condo apartment that we could clean. She had the job. She wanted me to go do it with her, and she was going to pay me. We was going to split the payment or whatever. So she told me how many bedrooms, woo the woo. And I pointed to it and I was like, okay, so is this how much they paying us? Of course, y'all know I did that because I'm a businesswoman myself. If I'm about to go to work for somebody, I need to know how much I'm getting paid before I go to work for them, because I need to make sure it's worth the work that I'm finna do, if y'all get what I'm saying. So she was like, yeah, that's how much they paying us. The reason why I wanted to do it, for one, is because I love doing stuff like that, and I always wanted to start my own cleaning business. So I felt like that was like a sign from the universe. Also, it was around Christmas, like I said, and I knew I could use that money for my kids' Christmas. All right, so this is the next part of the story, y'all. All right, so the next day we got up and we went to go clean the condo, which is the video that y'all saw. I'll put a clip in right here. Hey, y'all, this is the front door. In the kitchen, we have to do the kitchen area. That's the laundry room. This is the bathroom that I'm in right now cleaning. This is the closet. It's very huge. Hey guys, this is one room. Across the hall is another, and I'll show you guys the living room in a few. And again, we had 3 kids with us. So after the kids go to school, we get ready to go. We both smoke weed at this point. But see, me, I was a casual smoker. Like, I only smoked at night just to sleep, because smoking makes me lazy and sleepy, so I don't smoke during the day. But I knew she wanted some weed. She asked me to call my dude to get some. So the dude that I called to get the smoke from, I actually have another story time about him as well, because, boy. But that's another story time for another day. So basically, we wanted to get a dub from him or whatever. It's early in the morning. We pulled up on him. And I was going to give him 10. She was going to give him 10. Instead of him giving her 10 and me 10, he just gave us a dub. And we was going to split it or whatever. So, mind y'all, I do not smoke during the day. She wanted to smoke so she could function. And again, no disrespect. Like, I'm just telling the truth. Like, if she sees this and she get upset, that's not my problem. She cashed out me the $10, and then he told me that I could give him the $10 later on, but I still ended up giving it to him like beforehand. I was going to give it to him when we finished the job so that I could pay him with the money that I got from the job, okay, y'all? But I ended up just giving him his $10 or whatever, and we went on our way. She smoked when we were in the parking garage of the condo or whatever, and then we go in there and we clean it. That is the video that y'all seen me post first. I'll put in another clip right here. First, I thought it was mine. At first, I thought it fell on my jacket right there, but I'm like, nah, bro, I know I ain't spilled this much. Y'all, look at all this weed on the floor, y'all. Look at all these weed crumbs. And I mean, every part that you see on the floor is a piece of weed, okay? This was 2021, y'all. That wine that she gave me had been sitting in my mama's refrigerator from December 2021 to July 2022, okay? So I just want to throw that in there. So she was drinking or whatever, and that was another red flag because I didn't want to be too judgmental. It was really a thought in my mind like, this is unprofessional. This girl is drinking on the job. That was the first thing I thought, but I also thought, you know what I'm saying? Like, how many people drink and smoke on the job? And I know just because I don't do that, it doesn't mean that other people don't do it or I've never done anything before. It's a 2-bedroom condo. I put a montage of the apartment. Now, imagine y'all, we had the kids. They was rowdy. They was, you know, ruthless. They was just all over the place because they're babies. They were little at the time, but we still got it done, if y'all get what I'm saying. And another red flag was she kept trying to use that as an excuse to leave. Like, the kids are being bad. They being worrisome. And, you know, I'll go sit in the car while you do this. And I'll put that clip in as well. What would go sit in the car with them? Are they just trying to use now? They get on your nerves, not mine. I'm almost done. So basically, she had ended up coming in the bathroom and telling me that whoever this condo belonged to, those people were well known. And they actually said, like, if we do a really good job on this apartment, then they would give us other jobs to do or whatever. They knew the mayor or somebody, whatever, the mayor, I believe. So they was like, he had about 20 other properties that he wanted us to clean. So I'm like, that's money. That's God right there, y'all. Like, y'all seen it in the last video. I'm not going to insert that clip, but I'm just saying, y'all seen it in the last video. I was like, that's good. That's a blessing. Look at God. I'm so happy. Like, we wanted to start this business and now we got clientele already. She ended up leaving in the middle of it. We were supposed to be done by 1:30. She ended up leaving about maybe 12:30 to go get us something to eat for lunch and to go to the gas station or whatever else. And she took the kids with her and she left me in there by myself to continue to clean. That was another red flag because I felt like it was her business. Like, she started that particular business. Not saying it was her business, but that was her job at the time. She brought me onto that job. Even though we both wanted to start a cleaning business, this was her job. And she brought me on to this particular condo cleaning. So she left me in there by myself or whatever. And we were washing the sheets and the linens. And the room that she was supposed to be cleaning, the comforter and stuff wasn't on the bed. It was just like the fitted sheet and the pillowcases were still on the bed and nothing else. So when she left to go get us lunch and stuff, I went in there because I knew we had to leave at a certain time. And she was taking too long to get back. And if I wait for her to get back and do this, we're going to have to leave late. And so I could just do it right now so it'll be done by the time she get back. I won't have to wait for her to do it, if y'all get what I'm saying. Time management, because I knew we had to get our kids from the bus stop. So I went and I took the sheets and stuff off of the bed to wash them or whatever. She comes back, y'all, and this is where it gets motherfucking real. So she gets back, and now this is after she smoke and she drink, and she see that I took the sheets and stuff off the bed or whatever. Again, y'all, this was my fault, and I take accountability for this. I thought that they were dirty, but they were actually clean. She just didn't finish making the fucking bed. But I feel like that's something she should have told me, knowing that I was cleaning that room. She should have said, okay, the sheets are clean, so don't worry about that part. She didn't say that. Mind y'all, I cleaned my own room, which was directly across from that one, so I didn't know what she did in that room because I cleaned that house by myself, y'all. I promise y'all, the only thing that this girl did was make the bed, literally. And she only made it because of this incident. I took the stuff off the bed. She didn't even finish making it, which is why I took the stuff off the bed, because I thought, you know, it was still dirty because she hadn't done nothing. I literally cleaned that whole entire house by myself, and that's facts. That is facts. Like, y'all can go look at the video and see that I cleaned that apartment by myself, because majority of that video, it looks like I'm in there by myself. Okay, y'all? So keep that in mind. Mind y'all, this was her job assignment that she brought me on to. So y'all, she a little tipsy, a little drunk. She come back in there, y'all, and she get to fucking snapping on me about taking these sheets off the bed. Why would you do that? Now that's gonna slow us down. And I'm like, okay, all you gotta do is put them back up there, because I hadn't put them in the washing machine yet because it was something in the washing machine. So my point to her was, y'all, and tell me if I'm wrong, because she made it an issue like, now, you know, that's gonna slow us down. I gotta put them back on the bed. It was not gonna slow us down, y'all, because we still had to wait for the clothes to finish washing and drying. So what I'm saying is, if everything else in that apartment was done and all we had to do was put the sheets back on the bed and we was running behind, that's different. But we still had to wait for the clothes to wash and dry. So she would have remade that bed and been done way before those clothes was done. So it was like, how are you saying it's slowing us down, sis? Because you literally just remade this bed and we still got another 30 minutes to wait for these clothes to dry. And mind y'all, at this point, she had left all three of the kids in the car, okay? And she did that because the bitch left me to clean the whole house. She knew she didn't have shit to do when she got in there but the bed. So I was just basically telling her not to talk to me like that. I was like, I don't like the way way you talking to me like I'm a kid and I'm not a kid, because she's a little older than me. And I'm like, I'm not your child, like don't talk to me like that or whatever. I was like, you got me fucked up, like don't talk to me like that. And I'm talking to her in this tone, like I'm serious, I'm saying what I need to say, but I'm talking to her in this tone, telling her like watch her mouth or whatever. And I was like, well, if it's that serious, I'll just make it. And she's still going off on me like, no, I'm gonna make it, just K your ass, get the fuck out, go down there with kids, I got it, da-da-da-da. And I'm like, I don't understand why you mad, because we still have to wait. You took forever to come back. I cleaned this whole apartment by my fucking self. Literally. At that point, that's when I was like, oh, I was like, who the fuck you talking to? Like, who are you talking to, sis? Don't talk to me like that. Like, you need to watch your mouth. And she kind of calmed the tone down a little bit, you know. And she just told me to hurry up and go down to the parking garage with the kids. And she left them in the parking garage in the car, y'all. Like, a parking fucking garage where crazy people could really be at. You know how much stuff happened in the parking garage? Or am I tripping? And mind you, all of these kids are under 5. All right? All 3 of them are under 5. So that also was a red flag. She ended up making the bed or whatever, and y'all, she was tipsy drunk, and she smoked while we were at work. And I'm saying that to say I didn't smoke, so I gave her the weed to roll up, and she didn't never give it back to me. She didn't never get back to me. She hid it from me, y'all. She hid the fucking weed from me, okay? And also, let me say this. Besides her hiding the weed from me, while she was gone for so long and I was cleaning the house, I was texting her like, where you at? We gotta go get the kids. You need to be back. What are you doing? And she wasn't texting me back, y'all. I had gave my son, Messiah, my phone to keep him calm. This was another red flag that pissed me off, and this was after she cussed me out, so I already was feeling some type of way. Messiah was in the backseat with her son, and he was watching my phone, and her son kept trying to snatch my phone and take the phone from my son. She wasn't saying anything, and I tried to give her the chance to say something to her child before I did. So instead of her saying something, this girl snatched the phone out my son's hand and basically told my son that he couldn't have my phone because he wasn't sharing it with her son. And I kept telling her, why you just don't give your son your phone? Why would you take my phone from my son like you paid the bill? That also pissed me off too, because don't be taking my motherfucking phone from my motherfucking son, sis. Now you doing too much. So I gave it back to him, and I just let her son cry. Like, if you're not gonna give him your phone, then the motherfucker just gonna cry, because he not getting mine. Point blank, period. And you ain't gonna take it from my son too many more times, because then we gonna have to fight. So anyways, y'all, we get home. I take the weed out the console and I go in the house and I'm like, I'm about to roll up. But beforehand, this is what she did, y'all. Mind you, she was taking forever to come back. So I had to call my other neighbor, which is the girl that I met her through. We're gonna call her Nelly. So Nelly is who I met D through. I met D through Nelly. Nelly was my friend. That was my road dog. So we had to call her to ask her to get the kids off the bus because we was late. So I was like, okay, we know we finna be late. We 45 minutes away. So I was like, okay, let's call Nelly and ask her, can she just grab the kids from us and we'll be there no later than, you know, she will only have to watch them for maybe 20 minutes or whatever. So this girl gets on the phone and called Nelly and only asked Nelly to get and watch her kids. Not mine. Not mine. And I'm the one who told her to call. And I was like, okay, that was another red flag. So I text Nelly and I'm like, hey, I'm with her, so can you grab my kids too? Mind you, she's my homegirl, so she didn't mind. This girl, D, we just had met her. So it's like, you just don't even care who you leave your kids with at this point. But anyways, she got my kids, she got her kids. So when we get there, Nelly got an attitude. Nelly is mad because we took forever to come. And I'm explaining to Nelly, like, it ain't my fault. I wasn't the driver. I was rushing her. Show her the text messages and everything. And Nelly is fussing D out about it. And D felt like she was wrong for fussing her out. No, she wasn't. Because at the end of the day, you should have been more prompt, more dependable. You knew she should have been more prompt, more punctual, basically. So instead of her apologizing, she come to me and she like, girl, she mad. She got an attitude. She was like, I'm just about to give her $10 for watching them. Like, she had, like, the $10 meant something. That girl didn't want your money. She was upset about you being late. She didn't want your fucking money. So she thought that giving her $10 was going to make the situation better. It didn't. So fast forward, she went to go to the store or something in the midst of this. So I texted her. I was like, where the weed at or whatever. I was in my house. She was in her house. I told her I was going to get the weed out the car. I got the weed out the car and I said I'm about to roll up or whatever. Man, y'all, she had already smoked the blunt, okay? And we talk about a dub. You can't only get maybe 3 blunts out of a dub. 4 if you skimp them motherfuckers, okay? So, mad y'all, she had already smoked 1 blunt. And she smoked a nice blunt. And she gave me a roach like this big, y'all. It wasn't even smokable, y'all. So, that's why I had ended up getting the weed or whatever. So, when she got back, she texted me. And, y'all, I rolled a blunt and I didn't even smoke it. I was waiting for her to get back to smoking with her. You get what I'm saying? Even though she did me dirty, I was still going to smoke that blunt with her because all we had was a dub. And I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just wait to smoke with her. So I rolled up and I did not smoke, y'all. When I rolled up, it was enough for 1 blunt left, okay? You can only get 3 blunts out of that bitch. So it was enough for 1 blunt left. And I wish like fuck. Oh, matter of fact, I do still got the text messages. So y'all, just know that I'm gonna be inserting text messages as we go along. I'm gonna see if I can insert the text message to this conversation right now. Okay guys, quick disclaimer. I just went through my text messages and realized that I don't have these text messages anymore, because when I created my business page and I decided to be more professional with my business to help it grow, there was something that I promised myself, which was I was going to delete anything old out my phone that served no purpose. So I deleted a lot of text messages, a lot of pictures, a lot of things off of my social media accounts, a lot of videos. Anything that was a part of my past that served me no purpose, I deleted it. I'm kind of upset that I deleted them because that was my proof right there. But this is my story time. This is my truth. And I know y'all gonna believe me. Take my word for it. So I'm not asking y'all to believe me. I'm just asking y'all to listen and support. I just want to let you guys know that, just in case anybody was wondering why I didn't show any of the text messages. So every time you hear me say I'm going to insert a text message, I'm sorry, but I will not be able to do that. I love you, gang, and I hope y'all enjoy the rest of the video. So she was like, okay, I'm about to come up there and get the weed. So when she came to the door, I brought the whole rolling tray, and I was like, this the blunt I rolled that I waited for you to get. I waited for you to get back so I could smoke it with you. I took the rest of the weed and I split it in half, so it wasn't even enough for a blunt for both of us. If we would have kept it together, it would have been a one blunt for both of us. But because she wanted her own, I had to split it down the middle, which meant that it was only gonna be enough for a little teeny joint. And I gave it to her. She got to the door. She go in the house. She texts me and she cussing me out, y'all. And I'm gonna insert those text messages too. She upset. She like, what is this? This not enough weed. Da 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 da. Now, imagine y'all, she also hadn't paid me for this job either at this point. She going in on me about how much weed is left, and I'm telling her, I'm like, baby, we only spent the dub. You can only get 3 blunts out of a dub. I said that's why I wrote this blunt and waited for you to smoke it with me. I said, had you not asked me to split that last little bit of weed with you, we could have made 1 blunt out of that. But anyways, I was like, had we kept the weed together and rolled 1 blunt and smoked together, or either even cut the blunt in half, you know, we would have been good. I said, but how much do you think you gonna get out of a dub? She was like, I can get 5 blunts out of a dub. And I'm like, well, what type of weed is you smoking? Like, what type of weed is you smoking, sis? And are you saying blunts or joints? Because ain't nobody getting no 5 blunts out of no za, bro. Like, I'm talking about some gas. Ain't nobody. Y'all comment down below if y'all made 5 blunts out of a dub. And I'm talking about regular normal size blunts. I ain't talking about no skimpies, okay? I'm talking about thoinks. She was upset about it, and I was just telling her, like, okay, I'm not about to argue with you over no weed, la-di-da-di-da. She's still going in on me. She's upset about it, and it just rubbed me the wrong way. Like, I did not like it, and it was just like everything was a problem after a problem after the problem, and it just really rubbed me the wrong way because I don't usually deal with females, and I was trying to give that a chance because I don't usually deal with females. And I was going to therapy at this time, and my therapist was telling me like I needed to be more sociable, more outspoken, and you know, things like that, speak my mind, things like that, because I had went into this like regressive state of just like being a mute, kind of like I wasn't expressing my feelings to people, I wasn't handling my emotions correctly, none of that, y'all. Like, I was really going through it. So one of the things that, and I was very, 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 like, I had bad social anxiety. I still do. So I was trying to be more open and more positive and more sociable with people. So I was giving these females a chance because our kids played with each other. So, you know, I just tried to be like super cordial for the sake of the kids because I don't like putting kids in grown folks' business. She was upset, and I was like, you know what? I'm about to come down there and get my stuff. The stuff that I had let her borrow. She still texting me like cussing me out. I get out the shower at that point and I go down there and I knock on the door, and I was like, I'm just here to get my stuff. You know, I don't want no trouble. I'm just here to get my stuff, and then we're gonna be done with it. Like, I will never say anything else to you again. You don't have to say nothing to me. We'll never deal with each other again. So she opens the door, and I go in her room to get my stuff, and she goes in the kitchen and finish doing whatever she's doing. I think she was cooking for the kids, and she's yelling at me, cussing me out. So you just gonna da-da-da-da-da. So I started yelling back at her, but I wasn't yelling in a rude way. I was yelling because we were a distance away from each other. Like, she was talking shit. I was just loud because if y'all know anything about me, y'all know I hate repeating myself. So I got loud. The moment I got loud, she comes and get in my face, and she like, don't be doing that around my kids. Don't be yelling and da-da-da. And I'm like, and I wasn't cussing at her or nothing, y'all. And I'm like, you're doing it around your kids though. And at this point, she's sloppy drunk. Like, she drunk at this point, y'all. Like, she drunk at this point, because now she home. So she's yelling, she's all in my face or whatever, like just poking the bear. So I got my little desk in my hand, a little desk that I let her use for her little live video, and I'm walking to the door, y'all. She literally like stands in front of the door, put her hand on the door so I can't get out, just so she can make me stand there and listen to her cuss me out, and then at the same time tell me that I can't say nothing back. Like, I can't cuss in her house, or I can't yell in her house. Mind y'all, I wasn't cussing, but she telling me like I can't be loud or do any of this in her house or be combative back with her because her kids are in there. And I'm like, but you doing it in front of your kids. And she like, really? You gonna do this in front of my kids? And I'm like, trying to walk out the door, and she's blocking me from walking out the door. She put her hand out on me like this to stop me, and I got the thing in my hand. So at that point, like, and y'all, this was the most calm I have ever been, because like I could have really turned up. So I literally go like this. I put it down. Like I put it down slow, and I stood up, and I'm getting to squaring up with her. When I did that, she was like, you know what, just go. She opened the door real fast. Just go, just get out. At that point now, she seen me ready to fight, so she opened the door. She told me to get out. I leave or whatever. That's the first part of the story, y'all. We had an altercation. I went and got my stuff. I said I'll never talk to her again, and I meant that. Fast forward, we hadn't been talking. She told her kids to stop playing with my kids. She told her kids to stop speaking to me, all of that. Like, she even got to the point where she would literally make her kids go the long way around to her car so that they wouldn't walk past me and speak to me, y'all. And the oldest boy, he was a little older, so he understood what was going on. And he hated it. Like, he hated the fact that he couldn't play with my kids. He couldn't speak to me. He didn't like it at all. Like, he really didn't like it. He understood a little bit, but he didn't understand why we couldn't still, you know, be cordial with each other. So, we hadn't talked for a good little minute. She texted me one day, and she asked me to do her daughter hair. And I told her, yeah. But I ended up not doing it because something had came up. So, because I didn't do her daughter hair, that prompted her to start doing even more petty shit. Mind y'all, she still hadn't paid me at this point. So, weeks go past. I wouldn't say no more than maybe 2-3 weeks. I'm not sure, but mind y'all, this was the day that she paid me. Y'all, this girl gave me $35. Okay? $35. And when I text her, I didn't say nothing about it at first or whatever, because I just didn't want that with her. I didn't want to give her that energy. I just was trying to be done with the bitch. I'm sorry, with the lady. So she sent me $35. Time go past, I asked her, I said something about it. I was like, you know, you only gave me $35. She was like, well, they only paid me $70. Mind y'all, I told y'all that I looked at that flyer and I asked her, is this what they paying us? And it was way more than $75 that she said they get. Y'all, I'm gonna just say it like that. I'm not gonna say the amount, but it was more than $75. It was more than $100. So that is the only reason why I wanted to do this job with her, besides me, you know, letting that be the start of me starting my cleaning business. So she was like, they only gave me $75 and I had to give you $35 because I put such and such in the tank and I paid for the weed that day and I had to buy our food that day. Okay, y'all? So let's rewind back right quick. Let's rewind back. I immediately got upset because, for one, yes, she did pay that $10 for the weed, but that had absolutely nothing to do with the money that them people gave us. And if it did, then that means you lied to me. Okay, y'all? So hear me out. Did I not just tell y'all that she told me in the beginning, before we started cleaning that house, that they hadn't paid her yet? I don't know if I said that, but again, I was trying to get my money ahead of time. That's why I asked her how much they was paying. So she told me when we got there they hadn't paid her yet or whatever. So that's why she hadn't paid me yet. So for her to say she used $10 of that money to buy the weed, cap, because if you use that money, that means that they had already paid you and you lied to me about that. Or you're lying about having to use that money for the buy the weed. You know what I'm saying? Either or, whatever. And let's rewind it back again. She also said that she used the money to buy us lunch. She went to Publix, y'all, and got us some cold cut subs with her food stamp card. Destiny took the kids to go get something to eat right quick from Publix. And she went to get us a little snacky snack too. I just wanted a sub, y'all. She did not pay cash for that food, y'all. And y'all seen in the clip, I just told y'all what we was eating. We ate subs from Publix with her food stamp card. Then she even lied and gave it a name and said what we ate that day. She said we ate Chick-fil-A, y'all. Right hand of God, we did not eat no Chick-fil-A. Y'all see it. Y'all see it in the video. We literally had subs. But because she was so drunk, y'all, and that's another red flag. All of this made me realize that she was an alcoholic, y'all. And it gets worse. She was a alkie, y'all. No cap. She drunk way too much. I mean, y'all. So she don't remember shit for real. She don't even remember her lies. So that also pissed me off because I'm like, okay, now she lying. It just rubbed me the wrong way, okay? So, you know, after that, like, after she paid me, it was just like, whatever. She gave me $35. I left it alone. Then it started to be pettiness. She would see me outside talking to Nelly. Nelly could be right here and I'll be right there. And it could be a big ass space right here and she gonna walk between me and Nelly. While she walking past me, look at me like this. And in the beginning, I wouldn't give her that back. I would just ignore it. But as time went on and she kept doing it, I started doing shit back to her. Like, what the fuck is you looking at, bitch? Like, I started really giving her the energy that she was giving me because I didn't like that at all. Like, I didn't like that shit at all. I didn't like how she felt like she had the upper hand. And I should have been beat her ass. So, basically, time goes on. And one day, my kids is outside. My daughter and her friend outside playing. My daughter is going down the steps to her friend's house. She's coming up the steps. But Maya was already on the steps. She wasn't. She was coming around the bend to go up the steps. Maya saw her and Maya said, "Oh, excuse me," and stepped to the side. She looked at my daughter and rolled her eyes and bumped her and said something smart to my daughter. I can't remember what my daughter said it was, so I don't want to put words in her mouth. She said something out the way to my daughter and rolled her eyes at her and bumped her. So my daughter came in the house and told me. So y'all already know. I go knock on her door. I go say something to her. She gets upset. She slams the door. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna wait till I catch her outside or whatever. One particular day, she was walking to get in a car, and all of us were outside with the kids. She was getting in her car. She tried to back her car up and hit me. So I tried to run around to the other side of her car and pull on her doorknob because I was about to drag that bitch out of her fucking car. Imagine, I was a van. It was a soccer mom van. I tried to drag her out the car. When I tell y'all, she pulled off so fast, and this lady literally did not come back home till around 12 o'clock midnight because she knew. I told her, like, when you come back, you gotta see me. And I told everybody else outside, y'all better tell me when this girl pulled back up. She knew that. So she didn't come home till later that night. So Nelly texted me and was like, girl, because Nelly was like Rosie the nosy neighbor. She lived in the front where you could see everything out her bedroom window and her office window. So she texted me and was like, girl, do you know she just now coming home? Like, she was super scared. Or whatever. And I was like, yeah, she knew. She knew. So okay, that was the first incident. Then my daughter and her son had got into it. Her son had either hit my kids or something like that and lied about it. So I saw her, and as she was walking up the stairs, and she said something smart to my daughter about it, but her child was wrong. Again, this is just like the incident when she took the phone from my son. So I asked her about it or whatever, and she get to getting smart at me while she on the phone. She get to getting smart, calling me out my name, da-da-da-da. So I'm like, all right, we about to fight now. Now, at this point, my cousin and my boyfriend is holding me back. Imagine, this girl is way bigger than me. Like, she not bigger than me, but she way taller than me, y'all. She Amazon tall. Y'all seen it in the video. I'll insert a clip right here. We get to getting into it, and I'm like, at this point, bitch, I'll beat your ass. Like, I'll beat your ass. Like, okay, keep that incident in mind. All right, so boom. Months go past now. About 5-6 months. It's April now. This happened in December. It's April now, okay? We hadn't talked and said words to each other except for those 2 incidents where she did that stupid ass childish ass shit. Well, 3 incidents where she did that. So at this point, D and Nelly had become kind of close, and Nelly knew me, so she knew what type of person I was. She knew that I would turn up on the motherfucker if I got to, because she was the same way. So D went to her and tried to plead her case about the situation, because Nelly didn't like the fact that we couldn't all be cordial for the kids, because our kids still played with each other, and it just felt awkward. Like I would talk to Nelly and she would talk to Nelly, but me and D wouldn't talk to each other. So she felt some type of way. She wanted to play peacemaker. So she asked D, you know, what happened. D told her side of the story, and some of it Nelly believed just off the fact that she know how I am. You get what I'm saying? So she come to me one day. Again, mind you, this is in April of the next fucking year. This is in April of 2022, right? That is happening in December 2021. Okay, so this is April, and she come to me and she was like, well, we gonna have a meeting. We gonna all come in my house. We gonna drink some wine, and we gonna sit at the table and we gonna talk about it. Y'all gonna make amends, and we gonna get along from here or whatever. And I'm like, girl, that's a bad idea. I'm telling you, because the very first time that she cap, lie, or get smart with me or get disrespectful, I'm gonna punch her in her shit. And I promise you that I'm gonna fuck your house up, because you want to do it in your house. You want to play peacemaker, and I'm telling you, this happened last year, so just let it go. But she wanted to be peacemaker, had us sitting at the table like this was some love and hip hop, throwing drinks and shaking the table type shit, literally. So we go in there, we talk. The conversation started off all right. I let her talk, y'all. Like, I let her talk. I let her say her side of the story. I let her tell me how she felt, like where we went wrong and how she felt about stuff. So basically, she's lying the whole time. And every time she lied, I stopped her dead in her tracks and I told the truth. Now, at this point, we going on and on and on. She just making up lie after lie after lie after lie, okay? And it started with the weed. This is when I realized that she's a big-ass alcoholic, because she sat there and drank that whole bottle by herself, y'all. I had 1 cup, and she drank 2 bottles. One was like almost full, and one of them was full. So anyways, y'all, we sitting at the table, and I'm in the beginning, I'm kind of like uptight, like I'm kind of on guard. I'm sitting up like, all right, because if this bitch say the wrong thing, I gotta get up, because I'm little, she bigger than me, so I'm on guard or whatever. She's sitting on this side of the table, I'm sitting across from her face to face, and Nelly is sitting right here on this side of the table. Like, imagine a square dining room table, okay? So she on this side, Nelly here, D here, I'm here facing y'all, okay? So pretend like y'all D. And then Nelly is right here. She's telling me how she feel, and she also told me that the only reason why she was being petty and doing all those petty things was because I told her I was going to do her daughter hair and I didn't. That was the most stupidest reason for why she did that shit to me. Like, you don't know what came up in my life. I take accountability for that because I'm a hairstylist, and that is, you know, very unprofessional. But it wasn't like she told me what day she wanted me to do it. It was never like an appointment set, and it was no down payment or nothing, no deposit or nothing that she paid. So I don't feel like that was a good reason for her to start treating me the way she did and being petty to me and my kids, especially my kids, because they had absolutely nothing to do with it. Like, you had a problem with me, why were you taking it out on my kids? But anyways, y'all, so we sitting at the table and she's making up all these lies, and every time I caught her in a lie, y'all, I would pull out my phone and show the receipts like, nah, this is what the truth is. Every time Nelly asked her to show her proof, she would never show it. She would be like, hold on, y'all, and she would grab her phone and she'll be in her phone while we still talking amongst each other. She'll be in her phone, she'll keep looking, and then she'll put the phone down and change the subject. And not one time did she show any proof. And we so busy talking, you know what I'm saying, we didn't even notice that she was doing that, because she would literally, once she couldn't find her receipt, she would literally change the subject and go back to, oh, and this is another reason, or this is another thing, and we would just go on with the conversation. And then towards the end, we realized, we was like, damn, she ain't show us shit yet. I didn't say that though, Nelly did. Nelly was like, she was talking to me, she was like, girl, just shut the fuck up, because she digging herself into a hole. Just let her keep talking, because she talking herself into a hole. We know she lying by now. She was like, at first I did believe her, because I know what type of person you are. Like, you, what she was saying you did, you know, it sounded like you. And I'm like, I'm not denying none of the stuff that I did, but I don't like the fact that she's not taking accountability for what she did. And that was literally the first thing I said to her. I said, I'm not saying I didn't do anything. I'm just saying she wasn't taking accountability for what she did, because mine was a reaction to her action. I never was petty to her. I only reacted to the shit she was doing to me and my kids. I never was being just flat out petty to her, because I didn't care that fucking much. Like, y'all gotta understand, this was the next year, okay? How many months later is that? 4 months later? Basically, once Nelly started saying that D was lying, she said that. Now, imagine y'all, in the beginning, Nelly was kind of more, she was kind of taking sides. She was more, again, on D's side, because she knew how I was based off of an incident that happened between me and her when we first met. So once she noticed that I was telling the truth and D was lying, and I'm gonna insert a clip right here of what I said about her. I was on the camera, I said her reaction gonna be different from mine, because she calm, she more calm to me. I said, but look at all of this. And what I said about her in that clip that y'all just watched is the very same thing that Nelly said about her. Nelly was like, well, damn, that's hard to believe she did that, because she not that type of person. She real calm, she cool, da-da-da-da-da. Which is what I was saying. Like, she more calmer than me. Y'all, it was all a front. It was a facade the whole fucking time. The bitch was crazy. She really was a turner-upper, okay, y'all? Once Nelly started seeing the lies, she kind of flipped and was like, well, you're not showing your proof. And at that point, D is so drunk that she get to snapping on Nelly. Now I feel like you taking her fucking side. I'm about to leave. She started going off on Nelly. Nelly stood up and said, hold the fuck up. You in my house. She was like, now you got to get the fuck out. Now they're arguing. And I'm just sitting there just laughing. Like, I'm like this, y'all. I'm just laughing. I was like, in my mind, I'm like, that's what the fuck you get, Nelly, because I told you don't do this. I told you it was a bad idea. I told you leave it alone. This shit was months ago. This shit was last year. I told you leave this shit in 2021. I told you leave it alone. You ain't want to. Now you see why I told you to leave it alone. Mind y'all, I told her multiple times that this shit was from last year, so leave it alone, y'all. Like, I told her that shit multiple times. She wasn't listening. So they get into an argument, y'all, and she put her out. She put the kids out, too. She was like, y'all mom outside, y'all gotta get the fuck out, too. She started cussing the kids out and everything. And I'm just sitting there laughing, like, God be really fighting my battles for me, y'all. Like, I'm sitting pretty at the table like this, like, just watching them go back and forth. So Nelly ends up like going out the door before her. Like, she ends up walking to the door and holding the door open for her to get out, and D is not trying to leave. So Nelly is like, bitch, you gotta get out of my house, and she pushed her out of the house. Y'all, they get outside, they get the fighting, y'all. They got the fucking fighting. And I was just rolling, because I'm like, that was supposed to be my fight for one. And they ended up fighting from this incident, and it's about me. And I'm just sitting there like, this is fucking crazy. Like, this is fucking crazy. Like, you was trying to play peacemaker or whatever, and now y'all fighting. They ended up fighting, y'all. They ended up fucking fighting in front of the kids. And to be quite honest, I'm not trying to be funny, but neither one of them could fight. It wasn't, I'm not even going to say neither one of them won, because neither one of them could fight. It wasn't even no punches thrown. It was a lot of pushing and shoving and pulling and whatever. There was, like, not too many punches thrown. Nelly did throw one hit, but she didn't hit her in the face. She hit her, like, in the chest or somewhere, like on the shoulder or somewhere. But she did throw a punch. That was the first punch. That was the start of the fight. Nelly hit her first or whatever. But neither one of them can fight. No disrespect. But the truth is the truth. Neither one of them can fight. Point blank, period. And I'm standing on that. And can't neither one of them beat me either. I'm standing on that one too. At the end, after the fight, she comes to cussing me out like, it's all your fault. This was over you. I said, that's what you get for trying to play peacemaker. I said, I told you leave this shit alone because it was last year. She was like, bitch, this shit was last year. You made me do all that and this was last. I said, I ain't make you do shit. I told you it was last year multiple times. You wasn't listening because all you was worried about was the kids. And I get that. I get that. You wanted the kids to be able to get along cordially, because her purpose for doing it was because Nelly's son's birthday was coming up and she knew I was going to be at the party and she was going to be at the party. And she just didn't want it to be no, you know what I'm saying, no drama, no tension, no nothing at the party. So that was her point of doing this, y'all. And after that, our other homegirls had pulled up, and y'all, it was just, I'm not going to go into detail about that, but it was just like we was outside all day. And I believe, matter of fact, the baby party was the next day, because I kept telling her that's how I ended up at Nelly's house. I went over there to help her decorate for the party. And the entire day before this, I just kept saying, y'all, I just kept saying, Nelly, let's focus on the party. Let's focus on decorating. We got to have it done. The party's tomorrow. But she wanted to focus on this drama. So we ended up not being able to do nothing that day for the baby party, and we had a sleepover that night at her house, but we didn't get to do no decorations or nothing. So that was another issue. She was mad at us about that because she had to get up the next day and do everything basically by herself. We did help her with a lot of shit, but she was still being ungrateful. That's a whole nother story for a whole nother day, because she got on my fucking nerves too. But that's a whole nother situation. That's another story time I'm gonna tell y'all. So going back to the argument, one of the things, this is just an example of one of the things that I was speaking about when I said as far as receipts. When we were going back and forth over the weed and we gave the boy the money for it, she swore up and down that I didn't give him no money for it, so she felt like the weed belonged to her. And because I didn't give him his $10 until afterwards, she felt some type of way because she gave him the $10, and he told me I didn't have to give him nothing for it for real. But I gave him the $10 afterwards. So she felt like she's supposed to keep the weed. She tried to tell Nelly that I just went in her car and stole the weed. How did I steal the weed? That was my plug. I went and got it. I paid my part for it. You did too. But the boy liked me, so he didn't want the money. I still paid him for it, but he didn't want the money or whatever. Oh well, that don't have shit to do with you. You got your portion out of it. So she basically tried to make it an issue or whatever. Okay, guys, I forgot to say this too. So also, the first time that I ever tried to go get her some weed, the weed man liked her and was trying to talk to her. So I came and I told her, and she literally, her first response was, oh, if I'm fucking him, is he gonna give me free weed? And it's like, okay, so that makes sense as to why you get so many blunts out of a dub, because you be fucking your plug for them big ass sacks. That's what it was the whole time, y'all. That is why she said she can get 5 blunts out of a dub, because her intentions was to start fucking the plug so that she can get free weed. On God. She was like, I sent him $10 to his cash out. And I was like, no, you didn't. You sent it to mine. So I'm going to show y'all the cash out, because she swore up and down she sent it to him and not me. So she was in her phone the entire time looking for the cash out to prove that she sent it to him, and she couldn't find it. So that was at the very moment when she put the phone down and tried to change the subject. I'm going to show y'all the cash out if I can find it right here. She sent me the $10 and I sent it to him. She didn't send him the money. So that was just one incident where she kept lying. She kept making it seem like she sent him the money, da-da-da-da-da. So the weed should have been hers. And I'm like, no, she sent me the money. But whatever. And then I proved that she didn't spend no money on the food. We spent food stamps on the food. All of that. Like, I had receipts for everything, and I still have receipts for it now, which y'all are seeing right now. I don't have a reason to lie. And I say that all the time. Like, I don't have no reason to lie about no petty shit. You feel me? Like, that's not me. I might be a lot of things, but that ain't me. Like, this ain't that, sis. This is not that at all. Never have been, never will be. I said all that to say, because I know this story was fucking crazy. And I left some stuff out because it's a really long story. So I gave y'all the gist of it. I know I just wanted to give y'all a quick little story time, because I told y'all I was about to start giving y'all more story times. So I was just trying to give y'all a quick little gist of my story times, because my life is a fucking movie, y'all. I got way more story times to come. And I tell y'all, I got so many fucking stories to tell y'all. So anyways, I said all that to say you gotta watch who the fuck you deal with and who you let into your energy and your circle and your aura, y'all, because people will taint your spirit. You know what I'm saying? Like, people will try their hardest to taint your spirit. And when you allow God to fix things for you, when you allow God to take the wheel, everything will fall right in your fucking lap. Sorry for cussing, but everything will fall right in your lap. And that's what I did in this situation, y'all. It was just so petty. Like, it's so much more that I could tell y'all, but like I said, I'm just giving y'all the gist of it, y'all. This was a crazy freaking story time. And from then on out, we didn't talk to each other or nothing like that. I didn't say nothing to her. She didn't say nothing to me. Like, literally right after that, I moved out, and Nelly moved out too. Like, after this incident, we moved out. She still lives there, but me and Nelly moved out and moved elsewhere. Where I moved where I am now, and she moved elsewhere too. But yeah, guys, the lesson in this story time was, if y'all seen in the beginning of the video, the last video, how excited I was to work with her, how I was speaking highly of her, how I was talking about her, my dreams, my goals, our dreams and goals. I thought that it was going to work out. And if y'all seen in the video, even with me, when I went back to go edit and post that video, I was even noticing the red flags. That's why y'all seen in the video me saying, okay, pay attention to this. This is a red flag. This is a red flag, because I hadn't even watched the video until recently when I went to go edit this. Okay, y'all. And again, that's why the video is just now being posted, because I was battling with myself if I wanted to post it and then tell the story time. But it's like, fuck it. Like, I'm gonna speak my truth. All I'm trying to say is I just kind of like felt some type of way, because I do have a good gift of discernment, and I didn't use it this time at all. I didn't use it this time, and that kind of made me feel some type of way, because I wasn't really paying attention to the red flags like I should have been. Like, I noticed them, but I wasn't, you know what I'm saying? I was like trying to give her the BOTD. So I let a lot of shit slide that I shouldn't have. I feel like if I would have like nipped it in the bud right then, it wouldn't have gotten that far. But had to happen like that for a reason. It was a lesson in it, and it taught me to be very mindful of who I allow into my energy, into my aura, into my circle, around my kids, because not everybody has your best interest at heart. And I learned that lesson with her, because I swear, y'all, I thought that she was a totally different person. I even said it in the video, y'all, and literally she turned out to be like this angry, evil, like alcoholic, literally. But anyways, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed that story time. Like I said, I got way more coming for y'all. Hella story times, because my life is a movie. Make sure that you like this video. Make sure you comment down below what other things that you want to see from me and my little family. I'm going to do a poll. Y'all can also comment what other story times y'all want to hear. I'm going to give y'all options, and then I'll let y'all choose between which story times y'all want to hear. Make sure y'all, again, cut on y'all bell so y'all can get post notifications. Shout outs, period. Speaking of post notification shout outs, I want to do two right now. I want to shout out my sister, Sean. That is my sister. She's one of my biggest supporters. So let's do a shout out for her. And I also want to give a shout out to my cousin KeeLah, Big KeeLah, Purr. Can't say KeeLah without saying big. That's my dog. That's my cousin. That's my baby daddy cousin. So we call each other cousins too. Know her all my life. That's my dog too. Big shout out to her. I love both of y'all so much. I appreciate y'all for sticking with me, being patient with me, supporting me the way that y'all do. I love it and I appreciate it, y'all. And I'll see y'all in the next video, gang.